Hi, I'm Shaken Gaming. Welcome to a little preview of Garrett before he arrives in a week's time. More or less the 1st of September. Order, human, fighter, ranger. So a new human to buff the human race up quite a bit actually. He looks solid. If we start by looking at his kit, I guess you have already read the patch notes anyway, so it's not very important, but deals 300% physical damage to an enemy, applies the effect of a pulled arrow. And what does a pulled arrow mean? That's his passive. His passive ability works this way. At the end of his turn, he pulls out one random arrow with either sharp, fire, poison, ice, or anti-mage. One of those. The sharp arrow give bleeding, fire give burning, poison give poison. Daze arrow give daze effect, ice arrow slow effect. All effects last 2 turns. Anti-mage arrow removes all buffs. So that's a lot of RNG what you get. But of course you want level 6 instead of just going for one of the other levels to optimize which arrow he uses every time, because you get plus 10 speed and the anti-mage arrow last, which is the best. And on top of that, Garrett and Eric both gain an additional 10% health and 10% speed. So something that Eric really was missing was speed. And placing him up with Garrett gives him 10 more. So that's something. 10% health, not that necessary on Eric's shield breaker, but useful on Garrett. His second ability, 300% physical damage to all enemies and apply the effect of the pulled arrow. So this in itself, as you will see in a minute or two, does quite a lot of damage, but on top of that applies the effect of a pulled arrow. So that can be strong if you put burning on all the enemies, or poison, or slow for that matter. Not bad. The last one, Flare, removes all effects of invisibility from enemies. Now that's strong. Blinds all enemies for 1 turn. So first removes all the invisibility, then blinds everyone. And it's not 5 enemies, it's all. Garrett and all allies receive an accuracy increase for 2 turns. So, no dodge. Garrett and Eric's shield breaker receives critical damage increase and critical chance increase for 2 turns. That's pretty strong. Running this guy without Eric? Nah, don't do it. He looks very strong. Rune-wise, I would go with the usual damage setup, meaning critical hit chance and damage, but alternating at just a tiny bit. We can take it, let's see, critical hit chance and damage. Those are the ones you want, and you want to sort them by speed, and then you want to grab them one by one. But on top of that, you want a bit of potency on him, because he needs potency to land those debuffs or dispels a 1 lost thing. His potency is actually pretty decent. It's actually very good for a fighter character, 46%, so already there you have a decent chance. But I would suggest just putting a bit more on top to make sure they land those arrows. Speed, potency, damage, and crit chance. I think I'll go with this one, even though it doesn't have potency. Let's see here. Tenacity, damage, speed, armor. Not that good. Speed, health, armor, potency. Yeah. I think I'll go with this one actually, for damage and potency and speed. Here we want critical damage as the primary modifier. That's the optimal damage set, especially when this guy gets critical chance up. Let's see, there's one there, 4 speed only. Okay, I'm not going to optimize it 100%. Anyone else? Critical damage, no speed. I'm not taking that one. 2 speed and 2 speed. I'm going with this one. So 3 more damage. These will be easier. A lot of shield, a lot of speed. But no damage. There's damage on this one. And here's the variant, because I'm not going with damage as primary on the Northwest. I think potency is the way to go. So slap that on, and depends on the purpose, of course. This one will do nice. So where do we end? Puts him up to 203 speed. I forgot to say that he's got 140 speed, but I'll show that in a second. Potency up to 72%. That means we'll hit more or less everything with it. Tenacity, not that important. He's got the usual 2% dodge. Defense, I'll go over in a second. Same with damage. So that's that. Pairing him up with this guy, who doesn't get any additional. I think I'll need a rune there before testing him. Sword, speed, damage, and what do we have? Nah, no thank you. Some damage. Crit chance, we'll take that one. There we go. That was not what I was supposed to get. It was critical chance. Stupid me. Sorry. Armor, health, no thank you. Damage, not optimal, but I'll grab that one. That was better. Okay, next up. Garrett. His health, his damage, and his speed. Here we have the health pool, or actually the estimated health pool. This is health plus shield, taking into the account the magical damage mitigation and the physical damage mitigation at level 80, gear 11, no runes, no buffs, no synergies, just solo character. And Garrett is somewhere above the middle, so that's okay for a non-legendary. Ranger, that is. Placed him decently, I would say. Next up we have single target hit. Again, solo character, no buffs, maxed abilities, level 80, gear 11. That's not very impressive actually. He's in the middle of everything, just dead middle. Nothing special, except that he also applies a debuff or removes buffs, depending on which arrow he pulls up. But not super good, not super bad either. Going over to his AoE hit, his where he hits everyone. That's a different story. He's placed very high, 4th highest AoE hit, considering averaged out the critical hit chance and critical damage. So in average, he will hit, if he hits 5 characters, he will hit somewhere around 45k. That's very good. He's a strong character, as you can see now. Last up for the stats is the speed guide here. Date is wrong. I'll fix that in a day or two, but we have to move down a bit and see where he is. Garrett is placed down here, 140 speed, but he will be placed up here instead at 150 when you max his passive ability. So he'll be right next to Freeze Out and Count Delman, and same as the first 3 phases of the raid. That's that. That's all his stats covered, as you can see. He's looking quite strong. Let's test him. So I set up everything, his gear, his runes. I'm not setting up an artifact right now, can't be bothered. But let's see what we can do in here. T7 raid. Yeah, let's go. Start immediately. And hit something. Let's see if he can bring something to the team. Prior, I would have used Nigel or Cruel on this team with the setup. I know it's controversial because Batty can be used on a lot of teams for turn meter removal, but let's see what these guys can do. All level 80 with proper runes and gear 11 and maxed abilities, of course, but no artifacts. It's so much hassle to do that on the test server, so I'm not bothered. This is the worst phase because you get the constant retaliations from Mega Wheel because he gets turn meter every time he gets hit. But we want a slow Mega Wheel, yes please. And we can check what has he got. He removes all buffs on his next hit. That was a bit bad, I would have liked that next turn, but can't have everything. Let's AoE these guys down. And Mega Wheel, I want to hit with Eric because he hits hard. A taunt. Let's get these ads down to have something to do for Mega. And Eric already had the damage up from his last attack, and now he's got critical damage and critical chance up as well. And he can't be dodged because he's got accuracy increase. He will hit hard if I crit. Let's see it in slow. 50k, not bad. Back out the ads. Let's hit him again. Not with this guy because he's got remove all buffs, which is quite helpful. Boom, gone. And Eric with yet another crit. No, only 20k this time. Didn't crit. And would like Kyron not to stealth him. 10%, 5% of the damage. I'm hoping that that is 5% left, so I'm going to hit with Eric. That was enough. And he's got slow on the next arrow. What do we want to do? I think that I would like to get a debuff immunity to clear these, so I'm not going to hit this time. And he's got daze, which doesn't work on these bosses, so that doesn't matter. I think I'll flare again. Would have liked a defense down there, but never mind. And a blind, yes please. And boom, 20k on a crit. And here comes the big swing. 40k again, nice. And what's that? I don't know these yet. Remove all buffs, that's a bad time for it, but I guess I need it. Armor down, doesn't help me anything since I'm not ready for the big hit with this guy. But I'm still going to hit, I got damage up. What happens? Slow break. That was nice. And he's got burning. Boom. Let's get some healing. And I don't want Kyra up anymore. Damage up for the Mosses. And big swing. 40k again. Nice. No, I'll save that one. I'll speed it up a bit. I want to hit now because he's got all the buffs. But I would like to get immunity as well, but that will have to wait. Maybe I can just speed him up and take it on the next one. Too late. Too bad. No hit. No crit, I mean. But Mega is starting to hurt. What do we have? Got poison, no thank you. Blind will do, just perfectly. And smack, nope. And remove buffs. Next time would have been nice. Oops. I'll just do like this for the rest. But 30% damage without artifacts on a first try. That's pretty decent. And with the other changes to the raid coming up in next patch, you will not be able to blind the boss. So running Yogi and Shot won't help you on Mega Wheel. It'll be a lot harder. Tenacity goes up by 10%. None of those two changes will affect this result by a lot. Also, there's some stealth shenanigans possibly avoidable to counter with this guy. Hint, hint. Let's see what happens with that. I'm mostly looking forward to the Tier 8 raid. For that to be released and not just to be here where I can't show it. I think that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like or a subscribe or both if you want to. Other than that, have a great day.